Hello and welcome back to my walkthrough to Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped here on the Insane Trilogy. In the last episode we gained the double jump power-up from Dingodile after beating his boss battle at the end of the second warp room. And now we are here at the third warp room ready to again take on Tropy, who is the boss of this area. And so we've got a set of pretty difficult levels here, especially when it comes to speedruns as well, because Road Crash and High Time are notoriously difficult speedrun levels, and also Under Pressure is always a tough one.
Well,
sorry, Deep Trouble.
Haven't we gotten far for a pair of fuzzy marsupials? I am Dr. Nefarious Tropy, Master of Time and the creator of the very time twister machine you see before you. Uka Uka and Dr. Cortex have sent me to end this little charade, so you won't be leaving my area with the crystals. I swear it.
Okay, so there we have Tropy sort of giving his opinion, also seemingly not being too impressed with Dr. Cortex there, which I like the fact that you can tell that just from how he talks and things like that. So, Road Crash. I mentioned that this one's really tough in a speedrun setting. It's tough in a regular setting as well, just not quite as much so. It's a pretty annoying gem, as we see there, as we missed one of those boxes, unfortunately. So yeah, it's a pretty annoying gem, because as with all of these motorbike levels, if you miss one box, you've got to restart the whole level and go back from the, you've got to restart and start from the beginning. And there are a few annoying boxes in this level, especially but in terms of that sort of just on a sort of getting the crystal setting, it's not so bad as at least I don't find it as bad as Hog Wild, where actually you do have to be pretty on it in order to win the race, whereas here you're not having to extend boosts that often. I think that's the key thing, especially in this version of the game, the Insane Trilogy version, where the the control under when you're under the effect of a boost panel is really difficult to control. A level like this, where actually I don't need to do too much of that, is somewhat a little bit of a blessing. Although that guy pushing me off, not what I wanted to happen. Gonna need to remember how best to take that little section there. It's one of the tightest sections in all of the these motorcycle levels. And the reason that I didn't take the boost there is because it can be quite difficult to line up for that singular box there. So whilst it's unlikely that we'll win this race now, we should be able to grab the gem, which is good. And we should get second. Nope. He closed the door on me. But that's okay. So we get the gem, which is the harder one of the two in that level, because now we don't need to worry about the missing boxes now, which is a lot better from my perspective. And then once we do this, we'll have to make a decision as to what other level we want to take on. because all of them have their different quirks. Okay, so we're just looking to win the race. Another thing to note about Road Crash, it's another one of these levels which we'll return to a fair amount, because this level holds the entrance to the first secret level in the game. And we're not going to do it in this episode, we'll do the secret levels in their own episode alongside the secret warp room. But pretty much you drive into that sign there, the alien sign, just over there. And that will then warp you over to a brand new level. A rather frustrating one from what I remember, but there we go. This one you can use, yeah, you can hold that all the way around, and then where you really pick up time right at the end is if you can hold these final few boost pads for a little bit longer. But if you drive well enough, then you actually have a fair amount of flexibility right at the end there. We can see that we overtook the guy for first. Relatively early on there, right at the end, so. Still, that is Road Crash done, with only one complete failure of an attempt there. And I think this time, what do we want to do? Let's do Dino Might. The second of the sort of, obviously the dinosaur levels, it is another one which has a secret. It's the other level which has a secret level associated with it. And it's the most secret level you can imagine, given that it's a secret level inside a secret path, gotten from a gem that you need to go to the secret warp room and enter the entrance. You know, go through a level through a secret entrance to find. So it's several layers deep is the sort of the secrecy to the secret level in this one. So you have the sort of the weird crash fish enemies. Obviously they spin. There you can see the gem platform, the yellow gem platform. We already know that the yellow gem is found in Hang'em High, but we only get access to Hang'em High a bit later on. So this is the first introduction. We get to Baby T, who is adorable. And also is very useful. He's quick, he's nimble, and as you can see, he's got a great leap on him. Okay, and then we say goodbye to little Baby T. So I think this is the first bonus. So in a few of these bonuses, they will have little symbols just to be like, why don't you try using this power-up that you've recently learned? And this bonus in particular is all about the body slam. Or should I say the super body slam? that we got for defeating Tiny. With the main bit being this little section here, where actually it allows us to break multiple boxes at a little range beyond just where Crash makes contact, because it has that small, the small shockwave that comes from that. Well, obviously, it was meant to be that this would be the second of the dinosaur chase levels. Just went a little too far onto the lava there, which is a bit of a pity. But there we go. That is Dino Might done. And then I think we'll take on Doubleheader next. Doubleheader's an interesting level.
So, you pesky little rats aren't going to back off, eh? Just you continue to gather crystals and see what I do.
So this level introduces these enemies, these double-headed guys, and in some ways it also introduces one of a minor set of flaws, at least with this particular game, which is that the levels can be just a little bit too wide, and it means that you don't need to engage with every single enemy. Like here, I barely need to engage with any of these those guys, just because I can run around them. And here I can jump onto the wall here and skip all of the sort of the interesting enemy layouts that the designers have put in for me, just because I'm able to walk across the side there. Ooh, I better grab that first. That blow up everything? It did blow up everything. Oh, that's okay. And it's almost like here you can tell, well, we'll try and get you to engage with it. But even then, with the double jump and with slides and everything, you have so much capability in your movement that you really just don't need to address a lot of these enemies. Which is sad, because it takes away from that challenge, which is in a lot of ways what these games are all about. Platforming challenge and actually having that chance. And I think it'll be interesting for me to look at least in Crash 4, where I don't know how they're addressing this, whether they are doing a similar thing, where they will have you'll have the ability to move around obstacles like we can here, or whether it's going to be a bit more focused and not over so much sort of flexibility. So you can see there those wizards, they will stop firing at you if you go past them, which is something that's always useful to note. And now we enter the double header phase. So this is a level that we can get everything in this first visit. I think we've just got to be a little careful with that sort of stuff. Because I think we might just have screwed it all up. That's annoying. That's very annoying. But we can die in bonuses, and we don't lose lives, and we do get access back to the bonus. It's just annoying because it obviously means I lose the Aku. And we all have an Aku. I think the double jump timing is also slightly different. Or maybe I was getting caught on something in the background. Who knows? Nope, again. That is tighter than it. Maybe I'm just so used to doing slide jumps that I'm not used to doing double jumps, but it just seems a bit weird. That could have gone poorly. Just me being like, oh yeah, I'm having all of this trouble, but at the same time, what happened if there we go. Like again, not hard. But there we go. So another 30 boxes to add to our total. So that'll get us up to into the 70s. Okay, so another checkpoint. So this one's kind of here. These boxes are kind of here just to sort of show you that you can take these guys out just by jumping on their heads. Or indeed, you can just dodge them by jumping straight over them. That was a lot closer than I wanted it to be. So there we go. A level where you can pretty much dodge every single enemy. Does feel a little bit weird, but it's just how it goes. Okay, so it looks like that we're going to have to do high time without a Aku. Slowly praying that we might be able to get onto this one without, with an Aku to start off with. So this is the first of the levels that I have. There we go, we have a death route. So just as in Crash 2, we have death routes which are available only if you get to them without dying. And so obviously having an Aku would have helped that in the sense of it'd be easier to be there without dying. From from what I remember, this one isn't too bad. And also, if it's relatively early on, then obviously it's definitely not too bad because, well, you only have to, like me hitting that checkpoint, that changes everything, because now if I die from now on, then I've made a mistake. And that was close. Okay. Okay, so we get to our bonus. The death route is, I think, not too much further ahead, but the fact that it's ahead is always worrying. And then once we get through the death route, we'll get the purple gem, which is always very exciting. That worked out pretty nicely. So yeah, we want to get to the end of the death route, and then it'll just be a case of making progress through that. Ah, we have an Aku. Excellent. And there is our death route. Okay, cool. So I don't really remember this death route at all. Look like it's going to be a lot of the fire throwing, fire being thrown out the window. I would have loved to have killed that guy when we were definitely spinning there. Do it that way. Okay, so obviously we will now just use a quick death abuse, just as we could in Crash 2 and all that stuff. We have the gem, so we will keep it. And we can still, I believe, get the regular gem as well in this level. It's like, why leave? Okay, so how many boxes? Not too many more. I always prefer taking out those pot enemies with the slide. I don't know why. Okay, so we've got all the boxes, which is amazing. Oh, you're kidding me. I was just also thinking, we've even got an Aku for the next level. No. Do something silly and then we don't. Okay, so high time we get ourselves a purple gem. And actually, well, maybe it doesn't matter so much that we don't have an Aku, because what we can do is we can obviously now grab our 2 more gems from the level Tomb Time. And hopefully pick up some Akus along the way.
Well, you've crashed a few parties before, but I never expected you to make it this far. If you don't turn back... I will inflict 1,000 years of suffering on you and the entire universe!
So that's a bit of a threat there. Okay, so this level does require backtracking, as you can tell from the couple of paths that we have. So I'm just trying to work out what the best way to backtrack is. Oh, of course. I could see that happening. I didn't double jump for some reason. But there we go. Doesn't matter. We lose literally nothing by doing that, so that's fine. Okay, so I'll just grab some more Wumpas from there. So yeah, so the main thing we need to get to the we need to get to our secret exit. Well, we need to get to the purple gem route and then start making progress from there. And obviously we also have Deep Trouble to do. Deep Trouble, which has the red gem associated, or which has the red gem in it. Okay, so that takes literally forever, and we have all the time in the world. And then once we can do the red gem, we can then complete Boneyard as well, so back in the first warp run. And then we'll have pretty much everything from the first few warp rooms all already wrapped up, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Okay, so we need to jump over. I should have been checking to see how many boxes I needed from the last time. I have a feeling we don't need to go any further, but... we will check with this. Oh, yeah, I need to get the gem anyway, so let's just pay that attention. Okay, so backtracking for these boxes is going to be fun. Okay, so I'm missing 10 boxes. And obviously we do want to hit this. Okay, make that 6 boxes. So 5 boxes. Damn it. Why are we doing that section so poorly? And then I think we need to double... Oh, we didn't need to double jump. 93, 2 more. There we are. Okay, so we just need to do this sensibly now. And then just don't mess up the last few jumps. Okay, there we go, lovely. So 2 gems down. And the next thing we'll then be able to do is head to... is to head to, well, obviously we've got to complete Deep Trouble, then complete Boneyard associated with that, and then we'll be able to take on the Tropy boss battle. So lots and lots still to do. Okay, so... always interesting when they give you this guy right from the start. I think in this case it's mainly because we need... there is definitely a nitro explosion crate at the end of this level. I am 100% sure of that. But you need to be careful with these guys because if you have boxes that are hidden in coral, like these ones, for like that one there, you can only get that if you obviously keep the little, if you keep that little sub alive. Okay, so you do just shoot forwards if you spin. Good to know. The main level of this one isn't too bad, but the bonus of this one is the red gem area of this one is very difficult. And it's because of these little things. Got very lucky there, but we'll take it. Come on, up and over and down. So yeah, we'll want to keep as many Akus as we can because this level gets very claustrophobic very quickly with the next section. These pufferfish aren't too scary. But when they're now after these the little vortices, that's when they start becoming a little bit worrying. And the biggest issue with this level is it's another one which involves a bit of backtracking. So what we will see is there a box, or at least an exclamation, a point for an exclamation point box that we do not yet have. That we will soon have. As we make our way around. I'd actually argue, I think that's easier from the other side. So the dream is that you keep the little jetty the whole way through. Sort of all the way there and all the way back. But it's very difficult to do. Okay, so we've got another couple of sharks. And some more boxes, I think. Whew, okay. Damn it. Go. Okay, so we lost our little the little machine, but that's okay. Should hopefully be pretty reasonable for us to just be able to make our way back to where that exclamation point was. And from there, it will just be a case of then being very careful with our last two Akus as we make our way through that through the last bit of this level. Okay, so we bump that and run away. And there is a checkpoint. So now these pufferfish are now swimming up and down, which doesn't make them too much harder. Do want to avoid is obviously avoid those nitros, and then we get into the sea of nitros that you have around this section. We'll just charge through that and then run away. Okay, so 10 more boxes. A lot of those, I think, are still nitros, unfortunately. Okay, so you do have a little... Okay, we hit that. We hit that. We collect that. Wonderful. That wasn't actually too bad. We got through that pretty well in the end, which is always lovely to see. So we get another couple of gems. So I think now the only level that we haven't got all the gems of, I think, are Hang 'em High, because we're missing the gold gem, and Dino Might, because we're missing the... so sorry, Dino Might, obviously, because we're missing the... Good. Why not? Let's play as Coco for one level. So once we complete Boneyard, yeah, the only levels that we won't have all the gems of are Hang 'em High for the gold gem.
You little vermin are way too stupid to understand what you're getting yourselves into. This time, you've done it.
Usually see that if you're going into his boss aerial, which we're clearly not. Anyway, we don't need to get the boxes. This is one of those somewhat kind areas where I think the way they do it is they'll give us exclamation point, metal checkpoint crates, such that they don't count as boxes in the level, but you do still get checkpoints. I might be wrong with that. We might just not get any checkpoints, but we shall see. So what we're going to be doing is, yeah, racing through to the red gem, which is here. Looking beautiful as ever. And there, yeah, so you see, in this game, they decided to introduce these, metal exclamation point crates, so that you could have checkpoints in areas without necessarily wanting to put boxes in. I guess because they didn't want to force you to... You would otherwise have to get all the boxes, have a gem platform at the end of this section, which would then take you back to the start, as it were. Either way, finding this okay so far. Come on. There we go, lovely. And with one Aku intact, beautiful. So that gives us our next gem. So yeah, I think we're all gemmed out in the first warp room. I think we're getting there in the second, and we're getting there in the third, which is pretty nice. So, what we're going to do is go back to Crash, and we're going to take on Tropy. Dr. N. Tropy. This battle's pretty fun.
skunk! Give me the crystals!
The best thing to do is to stand in the front. Sorry, sort of to stand around the middle of the area that he gives access to. So what he's going to do is he's going to, first of all, send off these beams. So these, those sort of bolts of energy. And then he has these beams, which alternate from which side he does, but the pattern is the same every single time. And then you just need to make your way over to him at the end. So not too bad. I do not remember what the pattern is on this last one in terms of this one you jump over, that one you duck under, this one we jump over. And I mean, it's fair to say that Crash has never really had particularly hard boss battles, and the same goes here. Tropy is not that hard.
My time is up, but yours soon will be too.
But you did notice there that he was about to deliver a second set of attacks, so he did just about stand up. I think if you don't hit him fast enough, you can extend that that battle will extend even further as he has multiple turns beyond.
Insignificant morons! By defeating Entropy, you have placed us all in grave danger!
Crash, Coco, you must realize that this time twister machine is very delicate. Without Dr. Entropy's constant care and control, who knows what it will do?
So there we go, Entropy is done. We now have access to our Death Tornado Spin, which is just fabulous. And the next set of levels. So, double gem in Sphinxinator, one which we need the blue gem for. We have a couple of levels of Coco. So these two levels we have sort of Coco. Why have I glimpsed as a Coco level? So it's weird that they actually have the Crash face here. That's a little mistake. Interesting. So yeah, you have Coco levels, a couple of Coco vehicle levels. We have where we get the blue gem in my favorite level in the entire game in Tomb Raider. And we also have Future Frenzy, which involves the most backtracking in the game, and I think probably in any Crash level so far. So that's what we have to come up next time. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I've really enjoyed this little coming back to this game, certainly, and just getting the chance to race through Crash 3 once more. I'm sure once we get into doing some time trials, it's going to be a lot more painful. But at the moment, I'm still thoroughly enjoying this. So I hope you will join me on the next one where we'll be taking on Warp Room 4. Yeah, and we are getting there. We're not too far away from Warp Room 5 and getting access to the sprint shoes and starting off our chase of down all of the platinums, which is going to be crazy. So hope you enjoyed this one and hope you join me on the next.